And one day I was, the kids are all gone. I'm living in my apartment. And I was finding that I didn't have enough money to survive from month to month. I had no food. I was running out of food. As long as I had that cigarette, though, and I was able to go buy those cigarettes, I was okay. So I would do without certain foods. I wouldn't buy certain foods that I needed, even the supplements that I needed. I wouldn't buy it because of the fact that I needed that money for cigarettes. And I knew the feelings of frustration and anxiety, the level would be so high that I wouldn't be able to make it through a day. I wouldn't be able to make it through the day without feeling that tension or that anxiety, right? And so I was doing without what I needed to feed my addiction. And it wasn't pleasant. It was not pleasant. I mean, it was getting to the point where I was literally, and this is so real. I was literally bumming cigarettes off of friends. I was literally becoming a bum. Like, seriously, seriously. And one day I woke up and I thought, you know what? I'm done with this shit. I don't want to smoke anymore. I'm tired of feeling sick. I'm tired of smelling like dirty old socks. I'm tired of smelling like an ashtray. I'm tired of my teeth are getting yellow. I had beautiful white teeth at one time, strong teeth, right? Strong teeth. My skin, I had perfect skin at one time. My teeth were white, and I was thinking, you know what? I'm tired of this shit. I'm just sick of it. I look in the mirror and I thought, wow, damn girl, you went downhill really fast. I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to be this type of person. So I said, I'm done. I'm done. And I freaking meant I'm done. Freaking meant I'm done. So what I did, the morning I woke up, I had a brand new pack of cigarettes. Oh my God. This is how bad I wanted it. I had a brand new pack of cigarettes. Oh, I took that pack of cigarettes, I ripped it. I took all my anxiety, all my anger for being addicted on that pack of cigarettes, and I ripped it to shit, to rat shit. I ripped that pack of cigarettes up one side and down the other. And I crushed all the cigarettes so I couldn't get them out of the garbage. Threw it in the garbage and said, that's it. And then what did I do? I poured water into it so I couldn't go back and take because I know how to roll. I mean, I'm a 60s child. I know how to roll cigarettes, and I had papers, right? Because that's what I would do a lot of the time. Yeah. So I poured water in the damn garbage, and it totally demolished those cigarettes. See, looks pretty good, eh? Like a scrambled egg with like onions. Anyway, so I made sure that I couldn't get them out of the garbage. Well, that morning I quit. I threw them out. That night I had a stroke. The anxiety levels were so high, so high. I literally worked myself into a frenzy and I had a stroke. But I'll tell you, I knew I was having a stroke. I could feel it. And I thought, if I'm going to kick the bucket, I'm going to kick the bucket with full stomach. So I ate, I did my dishes, I cleaned up, and I was feeling, nauseous. I was feeling dizzy, the whole bit. Finally, I called the ambulance and I met them downstairs and they took me to the hospital. And after I got in the hospital, it was a matter of minutes. I ended up stroking out. When I woke up the next day, I wasn't able to move my right side of my body, my foot, my leg, my foot. I wasn't able to move it, so I had to basically get help, right? And I was in this bed with all these doctors around me talking and stuff. And anyway, I went through that whole process. And I'll tell you something. It was the longest 6 months of my life. I was in rehab for 6 months. I had to relearn how to walk. I had to relearn. I knew how to talk. I couldn't walk up and down stairs. I couldn't wash my own butt. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't take a shower by myself for fear of falling. I'd had to use a wheelchair when I went to the bathroom. I had to basically transfer myself from holding on to the sink onto the toilet to do my business. It was rough. It was rough. I had a very good friend who I worked with in the healthcare field. And what a wonderful woman she was. What a wonderful woman she was. And she would come and she would help me take a shower. She would help me wash my hair. Just amazing, wonderful, wonderful woman. And I wish her well wherever she is. Now, so I was at such a point, such a stage that I thought I was at the point of hopelessness. I thought, I can't fix this. I've damaged my body so bad. But I was lucky. I was one of the lucky ones. I follow holistic semblance of healing. So I'm lucky. I've come a long, long way from a girl who couldn't get out of bed without help, who couldn't go to the bathroom without help. I can do yoga every day. I can stand up one leg. I could basically show you. I mean, I'm not dressed for it, but like I can lift my leg up and hold it there. I can lift my leg up and I can hold it there. And you know, I'm telling you, this is a girl that I was in a wheelchair. I was in a wheelchair. And it was a long road to recovery, 6 months. And I even had occupational therapists come to visit me in my home to help me and to give me exercises. And I walked up and down stairs and I used the elastic band that you can get. And when I was in the bed in the hospital and I was, wasn't able to move in that first little while, I would tie my leg, my lame leg, to the bed and I would literally move it. I would move it. So it was rough. It was rough. I even got involved in a research project through the hospital down here where they were measuring how your body has memory, where it remembers things that you could do before, and they would test my memory and they would test my recollection of things and stuff like that. And so I was involved in that process, and my body healed pretty fast. So I don't know if it's in my genes, and if it is, thank you. But anyhow, it was a long journey for sure. It was a really long journey. And what I'm telling you, the reason I'm even going through this big spiel is because if you are a smoker, okay, it's not pretty. It doesn't make you look mature. It doesn't make you look responsible. Yeah, people are going to treat you differently because, you know what, you're probably of legal age to buy the cigarettes. So yeah, they're going to treat you like an adult because that's what you are. But you're an adult that's making the wrong choices. You're making the choices that I made all those years ago. I thought it was cool. I thought all my relatives smoked, all my family smoked. I thought it was cool. Steal a couple of your brother's cigarettes, go up behind the high school after Girl Guides one night, and you and a bunch of your friends giggle and light that cigarette. But you know what? I continued to giggle and light that cigarette. For years I didn't smoke, but because of that first initial trying it, I went back to it just like that. When I joined the military and I had left home for not for the very first time, because I left when I was 14 and I got a job for the summer, but I had left home, I was 17. My mom signed the papers and I left. And I was at that stage where I was going to prove myself. I was going to prove I was mature. And so along with that came the fact that if I'm old enough to fight for my country or to lay my life on the line for my country, I'm old enough to smoke. I'm old enough to drink. And back in the day, the booze was cheap, the cigarettes were cheap, and I got sucked into that lifestyle. The reason why I'm saying this right now to you is you might have a family member, you might have children, you might have a daughter or a son, or someone that you care about that you see is going down that wrong road. And you know what? I'm not saying to fight them. What I'm saying is give them the information that they need, because for years that information was hidden from us. We had no idea that cigarettes were a carcinogen. Everything was hidden. It was glorified. But smoking cigarettes was glorified. And look back at the commercials from the 50s and the 60s where you see a woman doing laundry and the laundry is piling up and she's there with a cigarette and she looks calm and collected and nothing's getting to her, and they have her dressed perfectly as the perfect little housewife with that cigarette, right? It was all a lie. It was all a lie. And what was it a lie for? Yeah. Big money. Cigarettes. Addictions are big money. Yeah. You know, the healthcare system is pretty fried right now, right? There's a lot of people who are dying of cancers. There's a lot of people dying of cancers and strokes and inflammation or inflammatory type of illnesses and diseases, right? Of which cancer is a top one. So we have stroke, we have kidney disease, we have all sorts of things. And what do? They push more and more and more. They push more and more and more on us. And we're in this lifestyle where we want everything fast and easy. Fast food, trans fat, okay? That's a carcinogen. Even the fact that they sell incense, okay? And I have some. Watch this. It was given to me as a gift. It was meant to be a gift, like
here's something I care about you, here's something pretty, I want you to have this, right? But incense is a carcinogen. Anything that is burned that gives off a smoke is a carcinogen. If you heat up plastic, okay, the factories where that smoke is going into the atmosphere, that's a carcinogen. That's destroying our air. That's destroying. When I go for my walk, and I walk behind someone who's smoking, I just want to rip that cigarette right out of their hands. I really do, because I'm walking behind them and their trail of smoke is coming and I'm exposed to it. I'm smelling it. I'm inhaling it. And they have these rules now. They say, well, you're not allowed to smoke at bus stops, but who listens to that? There's no consequence for our actions anymore in the modern world. In 2024, there is no consequences for actions. And indeed, I think that there needs to be consequences, because there isn't. There isn't any. We were talking about hypnosis for quitting smoking. And I was talking about the fact that I had smoked for years and how one morning I woke up and I said, enough's enough. But during that period of time, what I'm going to suggest to you is something kind of like to trick the mind, right? You trick the mind. Just like they tricked us with the pictures that they were showing us with the advertisements showing, oh, how cool you looked with that cigarette and how many, adoring fans you had and how many men were looking at you and how important you looked and how adult you looked, right? All that was, it was a play on words, it was a play on pictures, it was a mind game. They encouraged us to smoke with a mind game. And then they added flavors to the cigarettes. Chocolate, cocktail flavored, pineapple flavored. You used to be able to get the cigarettes that you would smoke. They were called cocktail cigarettes. And you were expected with a cocktail in one hand, alcohol, and the cocktail cigarette in the other, right? The very long ones. And I remember my mom having them, and I remember stealing some. Taking a few. Like, yeah, I had a little bit of long finger problem, I think, at that point. Anyhow. So you reverse it, okay? So you play a mind game with yourself and you take every picture that you can find. And there's not too many anymore. But if you can get some screenshots of a room filled with smoke, or get some screenshots of a lung that is blackened with cigarette smoke. And what you do is you make like a vision board, right? But you make it all around your house. And you put pictures of a black lung here and pictures of a black lung there and pictures of a person with a breathing apparatus, and you put pictures of a person with a coffin in a coffin, and then you put pictures of someone with periodontal disease and how bad that looks, and you put all these pictures. Just overwhelm your apartment or your house or your home with all these pictures of how horrendous smoking can be. Okay? You trick your mind into believing that cigarettes are not good for you. They're bad for you. They're going to kill you. They're going to destroy your body, your home, your environment, your children, right? Put these pictures up and leave them up so that your children, no matter how young they are, that they see that, oh my God, I'm not doing that. Look what it does. Mommy, Daddy, look it. Little Johnny sitting behind the fence smoking a cigarette. And I'm going to tell little Johnny that, you know what? You should see what cigarettes do to you. So that's what you do. You make a vision board that reverses the damage that advertising has done by encouraging our young people to smoke. And I was one of them. Oh, if I had it to do over.